Turn the heat up in this place. That's my first statement. I am just so humbled to be the coach of this team. They are a special, special group. And we have 10 guys who just banded together and believed and trusted each other. And you know what? We just beat a really, really good team for a championship. I mean, a really good team. And we had to make plays down the stretch, to win. I look at all the different guys who contributed. I think Kyle Harris at the beginning of the second half was tremendous. I thought Sean Fasiero made some dribble plays where he set Andrew up for shots. And then, it helps when you have the best player in the country, which we do.
Mike, what did you do down the stretch? You're down by 5 with about 4.5 minutes to go. What was successful for you?
Well, I thought we were getting some stops. Pete, we were able to stop him a couple times, and then we got the ball into Andrew, and then we made some layups. I thought Andrew finding Sean was a big shot. I don't have the running score. I'm not sure exactly where everything was, but I know that was a big play. It kind of kept us close, and we were able to just kind of grind it, and it was a March basketball win. It was a grind it out. You got to be tough. Everybody wants to score in the 90s and all that, but generally in the NCAA tournament, you're going to have those low 70 scoring games. And we wanted to kind of keep it there. We were better when we were keeping them below 70, and we had to really defend. And I thought we did as well as we could against their offense. Their offense is really good. They're so well coached, and we just, we grinded it out and we toughed it out at the end. I'm really, really humbled by the way our guys played, and I'm just so fortunate to be along for the ride with these guys. I'm just sitting here and watching.
Milt, do you have anything? I don't want to dominate this.
No.
Milt. First of all, it's Richfield High School, not immaculate. Richfield High School.
Harry, you're from Brewster, New York, right?
That old. Harry Hyra was way before me. He was there, but then he went to Danbury and used to beat us all the time.
Harry Pierandri, was he before your time?
Oh no, you know what? Jimmy Perry-Andrew used to play at the Richfield Boys Club. I hope my brothers are watching this. We were a big boys club family. Back in the days before it was Boys and Girls Club, it was a boys club, and we used to play the Perry Andrews. Everybody, I mean, there's a tight circle of basketball people in Richfield, and I'm proud to say the MacDonalds were a big part of it.
Is Andy coming along here? Andrew coming in?
He's there. Go ahead, Milt. You can ask him anything you want.
Well, how does it feel? You don't have to look at these Aquinas guys anymore after 4 years of having individual success, and now you got another win over them. Going out with a win must feel good.
I mean, it's nice to end the season on a win against them. They're a great team. I think me and Coach Matt can go back every year. Everything has been close with us. Yeah. I'm at a loss for words because there's not a better team. I'd rather play for the championship and play for 2 championships with them against them this year. They had a great game plan the first game, and they came out well today. But they just we got the chance to keep fighting today. I'm sorry, I'm just at a loss for words right now. Play against Stack in the hometown and win it in this great arena is something I'm going to remember forever.
Milt, if I could piggyback on that and just say that, we have a ton of respect for them because they are kind of the bell cow. They're the team, when we first got to Daemen, it was Bridgeport and LIU Post, but Stack was on the rise, and you could tell they were going to be good, and Tobin does such a good job, and they were, they've been great. They've been great. And people say, well, you lost them. We tend to split during the regular season the last few years, but you know what? Everybody loses to them. They win a lot of games, and it's not just us. It's everybody ends up losing to them. And to play them and play them today is kind of it's a little bit of a measuring stick for us as a program, because we know how good they are and how well coached they are and talented they are. And they've been here in the Sweet 16 before, and we were kind of in uncharted territory. But again, just so happy and proud and humbled by the way our guys responded.
Andrew, could you have imagined a moment like this 5 years ago when you made the decision to go to Daemen, not a Gilderland?
Never. I mean, every kid dreams of it, honestly. But I was coming here, playing for a great coach. Just wanted to find my role and play great basketball here. And every year we've been able to improve. We had a lot of, like I've said before, we've had a lot of great players come through here. And this is just a testament right here to what every kid dreams of, every kid sees on TV, winning one of these trophies right here. And now to be able to win it for our program, win it for our guys is just something that is so special. And every single one of those guys, trainers, coaches, assistant coaches, is going to remember forever. And nobody can take it from us that we're champions now. And who would have thought when we had guys opting out at different times of the year that I would sit here with the net around my neck and a trophy. It's awesome. And it just shows that the testament of the great coaching that Coach Max put in and the time and effort that everyone puts in to get themselves better. It's funny. Sean Fossero came to Daemen, and he was in quarantine when this all started in the fall. And Coach Max texted me, said, make sure everybody got everything they need. And I texted him and I said, do you need anything? And he said, yeah, give me a case of water. Got him a case of water. It was about $2 or $3. He couldn't come see me, so he couldn't pay me back. And the whole season I said, you know what, bro, don't pay me back. Pay me back with a championship. And last week it was tough, or whenever we played in the ECC tournament, it was tough. And I said, you know what, you owe me $3 now, but he owes me nothing now. I couldn't be happier for him. I couldn't be happier for our guys. And it's just a true testament to our program.
Andrew, you're the only guy that had prior NCAA experience. So when you get down to the stretch of this game tonight, did you want the ball in your hands as much as you could?
I mean, everybody who plays wants to have the ball in their hands at the end of regulation. And to be able to do it in the hometown in Albany in this instance and have the trust of my guys in me is just something that I would never take for granted. Every single one of those guys trusts me with the ball, and I trust every single one of them with the ball. I wouldn't rather play with anybody else. Stack, I'm very close with all of them because we've had a lot of great battles throughout the years, and it's just nice to finally say that we were champions now. I've walked off the floor in a lot of playoff games and watched them celebrate, and it's just nice that it's our turn now.
It should be good, Mike. Both Mikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I'll tell you is this, and I'll say this, Pete, and I'll wrap it up by saying this. And if Mike, you have anything we can add. I go back a year and about a week ago, we were on the bus to go to the NCAA tournament in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And as we're driving down, they're canceling the Big Ten tournament, the SEC tournament. And we stopped in Binghamton. We went to a mall to kill time because we didn't know what was going to happen. We probably could have caught more diseases in the mall we were in than we would have playing in Bridgeport. They ended up canceling the tournament. And you talk about a punch to the gut, but we dealt with it. A lot of teams across the country had similar situations, had success, and just terrible. And I think about those seniors: Jay Sarkis, Joey Wallace, Jeff Redband, who's one of our coaches now, Jeff Dua, and Breon Harris, and how their careers ended on that mall in Binghamton. And for us to come back, and Andrew mentioned, we came back, and these guys in September are going through one person workouts with one ball, not doing anything. And then the other guys, then we had guys in quarantine, and then we get close to finally playing 5-on-5, and then we have a shutdown. We go in quarantine again, and we have all these guys opting out. We had 9 guys opt out. I don't think anybody in the country had a team playing with as many guys opted out. Our team that opted out could have won some games this year.
A lot of games.
They were good. They were good players, but they all had reasons, and we all respected that. And to go through that, and for these guys to deal with it, my heart breaks for like Andrew's parents who are so close to him and are such great fans, and they can't be here at something like this. Selfishly, for my wife,
I'm going to cut in. They're coming to Indiana. So you'll see them. I guarantee they're booked. They're already booking their flights.
So I, like my family would be at these games. I have, 4 crazy brothers that have spent many nights in Albany at the MAC tournament, and definitely helped the economy in Albany, if you know what I mean. Night economy, especially. But it sucks that nobody can be here, nobody can see them. But in the end, this is like, we just told them that you went through all this, and this is why you stayed, and this is why you did quarantine a couple times. We were one day away from playing our opening game in mid-January against Mercyhurst, and we had a positive test, and we had to shut down for 10 days. And that was a gut punch. That was awful. And having to call the Mercyhurst coach and tell him we can't play, we had a positive, was awful. But these guys just kept going. They kept persevering. They kept practicing hard, and they were a joy to coach and what a joy to be around. We had a guy who's a very good player, Justin Hemphill, who's home and had surgery. We got hurt, and it was a big part of our rotation, a Buffalo guy from Cardinal O'Hare who, would be playing, would help these guys because he could really give us some minutes off the bench. He gets hurt. He's had surgery the other day. These guys just keep going. They don't care. They just keep going. So what a great story. What great guys and just so humbling to be around them. I got to tell you, it's so much fun, and I am blessed to be their coach.
Thanks, guys. Nice watching you play this week. Good luck in Indiana.
Thanks, Pete. We'll
Thank
see you in
you, Pete.
Indiana.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you, guys.
You buy me my ticket, I'll be there.
Coach, I guess my first question is when you guys were 0-2, 2 losses to Gannon to start the season, could you ever have imagined sitting in the chair you're sitting in with that trophy that's a couple feet to your right?
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. I mean, we were at that point, we looked like a young team. We were starting 2 freshmen. Ryan Salzberg was a sophomore who played just over 100 minutes last year when we played 30 games last year, whatever we played, 32 games, or I don't know how we played, but he played about 100 minutes, so he barely played last year. We had Sean, who was new and didn't know anything about Daemen and was just, he spent as much time in quarantine almost as he did on the practice floor, when you think about it. But no, I thought when we left Gannon, all right, we got a lot of work to do. And then, the van gets hit. We get a van gets hit by a bus, right? Or by a truck. I mean, a van gets hit by a truck on the way to Roberts Wesley in a snowstorm. We can't play. The game's canceled. Thankfully, everybody's okay. I mean, you make this up. This is like a Disney movie, right? All this stuff happened. And then again, then we come out and we just play great at Roberts Wesley, and where I didn't know what we'd do. And just from that time, they've always responded. They've always been good. So it's a real testament to the guys on this team, the families they're from, and the makeup of these guys. That's what it is. The assistant coaches, Jeff Redband and Ryan Granitz, have been tremendous in keeping everybody together and keeping us, keeping everybody focused and keeping me sane, which is not an easy job.
Andrew, you got off to a slow start tonight. They kept you off the score sheet for the first almost 10 minutes of the game. I don't know if we've gone 10 minutes without you having a field goal in the last 3 seasons at least. Then you really got going. What were you able to do in the second half? You scored 17 out of your 25 in the second half.
I mean, I'll go back to it. It's just a true testament of our guys. I mean, the refs, they repped a great game. Started off with, I thought I got fouled on a dunk, but you know what? Everybody else just always is one of those teams where nobody gives up on anybody else. I mean, we would have all liked to get a better start out of me, but you know what? That shows what kind of team we are. That's kind of players that Coach Mack recruits here. I went back and when we were in Stack and we were winning the game, I told Salzberg, just be a gangster out here. Just be out there and play your game, bro. Play from Syracuse, where you always tell us. I always got to hear him who he plays with. He plays with all these kids on TV, and he was a little scared. And I said, bro, play like a gangster, and that's what he's done. And he's played great. We had Kyle Harris step up. Some of the shots he was hitting tonight were miracles and dreams come true. I stand under the hoop and I watch them come through the net, and I said, oh my gosh, we're going to win this game by 50. And then they made a run, and we never gave up. We go down, like a Coach Mack said, we go down by 5, we go up by 5. It's everything. I had a few turnovers at a little time in the end of the second half, and you know what? Sean's still throwing me the ball for, I thought was an and one, and I was still getting fouled, and we just had trust in every single person. There's not one person on this team that I would not trust with the ball in their hands at the end of the game. And that shows something about a team who's got 10 guys who never thought we'd even get a game going. Like Coach Mack said, we get put in quarantine a day before the first game. It's unbelievable. And I'm just so happy that I'm able to do it with these guys and be able to win 2 games in the NCAA tournament right in my hometown.
Coach Mack, what you guys held them to, 21 points below their average and only 2 field goals in the last 4.5 minutes. We talk, you and I know we talk a lot about offense. What'd you see out of your defense, especially down the stretch?
Our defense has been really good. I think we've been I was worried about early on in the year, but we've gotten better and we trust each other now. I think we trust each other defensively. And guys are not afraid to help and get back to their guy. They're not afraid that, sometimes when you're younger, you end up being a little selfish defensively. Like you stick to your guy because you don't want your guy to score. Cause maybe if your guy scores, I'm going to come out. And we got that out of the way, and we really got all the we into it. And we've been really good, and I thought we played pretty good defense. They still shot 47%, but they're a high level offense. I think they're one of the most efficient offenses in the country at Division II. And we did a great job of, little pieces. I thought Kyle Harris and Sean started on their two guards are special. Dimitri Roberts, I think, is really a special player. And Grant Singleton is, second best player in the league by the voting. And he deserves that. He was MVP of the conference tournament. Just really good. And, Caraballo is a load down inside. So we had to do a great job helping each other, and we did it. And, the defense was big, and I think it got us going. Once we settled down, that start of the game, I wanted to hide under the bench. I was going to, it was ugly. And we were down 8-0, I think. And it looked like, wow, and do I burn a timeout? But I wanted to try and see if we could play through it, because as much as anything, it was about these guys learning to be able to play. That's what this year has been about. Hey, we're going to give guys a lot of experience, guys who haven't had experience. And, we were able to fight through it and deal with it. So it was the defense, I thought, was a key of us getting back in the game.
Michael Barth, go ahead if you got any questions.
Thank you. This is for Andrew. You were pretty emotional at the end of the game there. I guess what was going through your mind when the clock hit 0?
I've been saying this all night. I mean, me and Coach Mac, me and everybody who's been here, me and in the Daemen program, we've gone through the mountains and the highs of beating West Liberty and St. Anselm, knocking them off when they were 4th in the country, to losing to NYT on the road in the last game of the season. And, I told him, I went back to I'll go back to last year when I told him I was coming back. I said, we have unfinished business and we got to get something done. And last weekend it slipped up from us. They had a great game. Stack played great. And I told him right after this game, I said, you know what? This is what I told you. This is why I was staying. And to have that trophy, and I go back to, I was watching the girls' game last night, and our Daemen women won a great game last night. They had a great game there too. And I watched everything all the way through to the end. And I said, you know what? Their trophy needs a brother. And we're going to give them a pair. And that's exactly what we did. And now I said, I can't go by every day for the next year looking at their trophy and know that we let one slip up here. So it's just, like I said, it's a true testament to our guys, and to show that I had, like I said, a couple turnovers. And we came down the other end and got great defensive stops, and we kept going to me and kept going to Sean and everything like that. It finally happened. And like I said, I've watched Stack, great team, cut down the nets. I've played against Justin Reyes, beat us in the playoffs, and they beat us in everything up until now. And it kind of just is nice that now it's us, and now we're up here, and everything to them, but it's our time for right now.
And last one from me. I apologize if you've already been asked, but to do this in your hometown and in the Albany area, what does that mean to you?
Hey, we can go back to when we beat Bloomfield the other night. Coach Mac he was telling me that we were coming down here, and he gave me a little motivation about halfway through the season when he found out this could be a possibility. And that's been on my mind every single day. The Times Union Center, this whole complex, I've had great games. I've had bad games. We've had championships. We've had everything. I've lost to Shenandoah Hoa against Kevin Herter and great guys with 2 seconds left, and they beat us by 5. Playing in front of a lot of crowds. We beat Green Tech when they were number 3 in the country or in the state, 20-0. And now it's just nice to be able to come in here and finally get a championship that every single one of those guys in that locker room, and even the guys that opted out, every single one of them earned that trophy. And that's going to be something that we're gonna have to hold ourselves to a higher standard now. And to be able to do this in my hometown and just look at that every day when we walk through our complex is going to be something that's going to be a motivation tool, and it's going to keep us going. And it's only up from here. You got to get better every day. So we're going to go out to Evansville, and we're going to have a great game plan for whoever we play, and we're going to come ready. I promise you that, regardless of who we play, where we play. Like Coach Mac always says, he wants a parking lot player. Play anywhere, anybody, anytime. Snow at 6 a.m. in the middle of the parking lot, as he says. And that's what we were today.
Last question for me, Coach, and just piggybacking on a little bit of Andrew's response there. Daemen's the first ECC school to send both the men's and the women's teams to the Elite Eight in the same season. In your opinion, what's the significance of that for Daemen?
Well, I think it's usually significant. The job Jennifer Banker has done and her staff with that team and the program is amazing. It starts at the top, starts with Dr. Olson, our president, Tracy Murphy, the athletic director, all the people who help us, behind the scenes. There are a lot of people who help both Jen and I with this. Coach Banker texted me before the game today and said, "Good luck. The trophy's beautiful. You need one too." And she's 100% right. There's no doubt about that. So it's, I have great respect. I texted her after her win yesterday. I was like Andrew. I watched their game and was just so happy for them and for those ladies who work so hard. And I texted her. I just said I was so happy for her because she puts a lot of time and effort into coaching, and she deserves all the success she's getting. So I think we're the only. I think St. A's did it 2 years ago. Was the only one to have a men's and women's team go to the Elite Eight. In the region, there's some kind of crazy stat about that, but for us, I know that's this is awesome, and it just shows you, it's not like teams don't get along. Teams really enjoy each other's success, and you see it. And I always compare. I said this before. You look at UConn, success in women's basketball, success in men's basketball. There are other places. Notre Dame throughout the years has had some similar things. I was at a program at Medaille where I took over, and the women's program was unbelievable, coached by Pete Lonergan. And, that was kind of the thing we always strive to get to that level. So it's good that you have somebody you can bounce ideas off of, that you can talk to, and that is committed to winning and everything as you are. And it's fun to watch, and we'll be tuned in when they're down in Columbus. We're just going to be a little further west in Evansville.